Hello, my name is Laura Giagnorio. I'm here with Amanda Martinez, and we're here with Relief Network Ministries founder, Dr. Ambrose Okorie, and treasurer, Cyril Okeke. So I understand that Relief Network Ministries is celebrating its 15-year anniversary this year. Dr. Sunny, what motivated you to start Relief Network Ministries?
Thank you for that question. Basically, Relief Network got kicked off because I heard from late Dr. Laura Giagnorio, my former pastor at All Nations Church in Lake City, that, while he was preaching a sermon, that we needed only $1.5 billion to give clean water to the rest of the world that didn't have it. And that same report from New York Times he was referring to indicated in the UK we're spending about $10 billion on alcoholic beverages alone. And then in the USA, about $20.5 billion. So that boggled or disturbed my mind. And I'm wondering, how can we get access to some of this money? And then the other thing was my personal experience living in Nigeria and moving over here to go to school. While in Nigeria, my son got hit by a vehicle fetching water at a well and trying to cross the road while he was carrying a bucket of water, and it was very heavy for him. So that went back to my memory lane, seeing what I did as a child to fetching water, going 2 miles every morning or more, and that water wasn't even clean. So that's why we started the ministry.
So what does it cost to drill one well?
Typically, a shallow well will cost about $3,000 or less, but if you're going to a formation that is a little bit harder and you're going deeper, to do a well will cost a little over $5,000. Yeah.
What would be the annual cost to service, maintain, and continue providing water per person, per family in Niger and Nigeria?
Based on estimates from World Health Organization and UNICEF, typically $10 annually is reasonable for a person to have good flowing water to them. And so in our estimates, working also within the ministry, we know that a well will serve about 300 families or more. So ideally, we're estimating that $30 will be sufficient per family of 3 to 5 people annually.
So, Mr. Okeke, my first question to you is, what was it like growing up in Africa with limited access to safe, clean water?
Thank you very much. Initially, I didn't realize how much suffering that I went through until I came to United States of America. A typical life of a child in Africa will mean like wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, go to fetch water twice in the morning before going to school, and then coming back from school, and then do the same thing again twice. So looking back, I found out that it was tough, it was rough, and it was very, very difficult. So I think looking back, I can see that that's a lot of child labor.
Dr. Okorie, I have a question for you. What would you say were some of the biggest challenges that you faced in the first 7 years of starting this ministry, and how did you overcome those?
Well, basically, the biggest problem we've had is having enough financial resources to do what we need to do. We typically have the capacity to drill about 50 wells every year, but we're not able to do that because we don't have enough money. Secondly, the issue of maintaining equipment that we have sometimes is a big challenge because we don't find the right spare part in Africa for US-made or Chinese-made equipment. So it drags us behind a little bit. So equipment maintenance is also a challenge, and also the fact that we do not, we're not able to retain some good people on hands if we train them or after we train them, because sometimes or most of the time we cannot pay them enough to keep them.
So going forward, what is your vision and your mission for ministry for the next 15 years?
Thank you. Laura, basically the vision of the ministry is the same. That is providing access to clean water, doing medical relief, and also training people in job skills. That's equipping people with appropriate technology. But since water is our overarching goal, we are hoping that in the next, or working on this strategic plan, that in the next 15 years, we'll be able to, take the first year plan of, getting $1 a day partners, built into that, whereby, if we can get 300 partners within that 15-year range, meaning every 5 years we hope to add, $130 a day minimum donors, and that will help us significantly. And then being able to mobilize the church, local churches being able to partner with us, come alongside and help us. If a church can do a well a year, only one well, one a year, or send a missionary to go with us, one person, that would be tremendous. And then if the church can also adopt a local pastor in the places where we're digging wells or working, that will also be a big blessing, because some of these rural villages don't have enough capacity to support a pastor. So churches working alongside with us will help both in church planting, church growth, and discipleship development.
So, Dr. Okorie, how can people of the community get involved or donate or even partner up with R&M to help you exceed your goal for the next 15 years?
Typically, we are in the strategic plan, then, we're saying that if we get, 300 people within the next 15 years, that would be great. So then we're also looking at churches and businesses, like medical doctors who would like to do medical missions, to do one a year or sponsor one a year. They may also be able to, give money, like a business person, to train somebody in some job skill. One of the job skills is on maintaining equipment. So when we send missionaries from here, they can, within the 2 weeks or so they're in Africa, be able to train the people that are being sponsored by the businesses that are helping us in the different technical areas. Yeah.
Mr. Okeke, my question is that since you do know what it's like to grow up in that atmosphere and in that environment, how do you see having a clean water well within, say, a mile of one of those villages? How could that positively impact the people of those villages?
Yeah, the first impact is that it's going to bring joy. It's going to bring a lot of relief. Children will now be free to go to school and be free to be children and play like other children all over the world. So it will also it will also see they will also see improvement in their in the performance in their academics in school, and then you see them also grow up to be healthy and not stunted and not with the big stomach full of worms. So you see that there's going to be a lot of improvement in academics, in their health, and then altogether in their social life.
So, Mr. Okeke, my last question for you is, what got you connected with Relief Network Ministries?
Yeah, I got connected when I first came to United States of America. I happened to, end up in Webster, Texas. At that time, I had access to Dr. Sunny Okorie. Then he kind of shared the vision of what he was already doing at that time, going back to Africa and drinking, providing clean, safe drinking water. So it's like something that connected with me immediately. And since then, I've joined. And since then, we're doing a great work. We have seen improve from doing just few wells to now doing like up to 20 or 25 wells per year.
Thank you both for being here and answering these questions so that we can better understand and spread the knowledge to others.
Thank you.
Everyone that is watching me, I am Pastor Solomon Abagu, pastor from Master Builders International Churches. The reason why I became a pastor, there is this
Relief
Network Ministry. They came down to Yande North at Mbamko and dug a borehole there.
Sechia.
So, as they dug a borehole at Sejia, they started preaching. At this process, I came around and I saw as they brought a great development in my village. From there, I gave my life to Christ. And today, I'm a pastor in this ministry. Formerly, but right about now, as I speak, I've stopped fornication, stopped drinking alcohol, and so on and so forth.
So what we are saying now is that when they brought that word to repair in your village, that was time you gave your life to Christ. Since then, your life has not been the same again.
So many people have been coming to me, preaching to me, taking me to different churches, but all those things proved abortive. I couldn't give my life to Christ. On that day, I was surprised. I came myself. Nobody even called me. They took people's name, and my name was not among. But I still follow Pastor Sunday and make sure that he wrote my name in the books. They were taking people's name in. So since then, I have not backslided.
Hallelujah.
And I'm a pastor with Master Builders International Churches, Sejia Yande.
Yes, that's the church that Relief Network is partnering with. As you can see, this is the pastor that is in charge of that village. Because since then, we've handed over the church to Master Builder that is partnering with us. So we thank God for your life, Pastor. I pray that as ministries, as they are watching you, they will do something over even your welfare as a pastor there. Amen. Thank you very much. I will still get back to you.
Thank you. The best is yet to come.
Thank you. The best is yet to come.
Thank you. The best is yet to come.
Thank you. The best is yet to come.